It's a play bus! But where does it go? Where does it stop? Watch for the sign of the lollipop. Stop! It's the patch stop. With Peggy Patch.
Peggy Patch is out today to find a patch to stop and play. Where will it be? Who will she meet? Has the bus stopped at the end of your street? Can you guess where Peggy's got off the bus today? I'll give you a clue. There's a long stretch of water nearby that runs between fields and houses, and Peggy's stopped on the path beside it. She's over here. Peggy's on a towpath today, which is a long, thin path that runs alongside a canal. It's a place where she's got to be very careful because it's near water. She's off for a game of hide and seek now. She can't hide near the water, but she could be hiding in a tree, or on the towpath is where she could be. A hedge could be her hiding place. Keep looking for her cheeky face. The towpath isn't anything to do with the toes on your feet. Tow is another word for pull. And horses used to pull the boats along the canal. The boats didn't have any engines, you see, so the horses would walk along the towpath and tow the boats. This is Jigsaw, and she lives in the field next to the canal with the other horses. We'll let her go. The only way to cross the canal is by bridge. The canal isn't used very much now, so there's lots of reeds and weeds growing here. And who do you think might live under the water? Fish, that's who. Oh look, there's my reflection. Hello. People live on this side of the canal. It's quite busy today. There's a man tidying his garden up. He's got two little dogs. Hello. There's nobody in this garden. There's two swings there waiting for somebody to play on them. I wonder where they are. Oh, and there's Peggy. Hello, Peggy. Oh, there's another dog in this garden. He's playing with his owner. And somebody's hanging the washing out. Let's hope it doesn't rain. There's another garden. Got two more dogs in it. And there's some people tidying the garden up because it's the end of summer. Hello.
Good morning.
Can you see all his vegetables that he's got? He's got them out of the ground. It's the end of summer and it's autumn now. All these houses have gates on so the people can come out and walk up and down the towpath. Who do you think might come out now? Peggy Patch has found another creature who lives near the towpath to say hello to. Say hello to this creature. A creature with blue eyes and bright orange legs, who has a bendy neck and downy white feathers. She's a goose. These are all geese. Apart from the grey one, that's a male goose called a gander. This one's called Albert. And all of them, apart from Albert, lay eggs, but most of them are bred to be eaten. And usually it can be quite frightening because they make a lot of noise. In fact, some people use them instead of dogs to guard their houses because they always make a noise when they hear people coming. But they're quite quiet today. And they also need to live near water too, because they like to have a swim and keep their feathers clean. Peggy thinks they might go and have a swim in the canal. What do you think?
Oak.
That's it. That's right, it's an oak tree. That's what the seeds are.
Acorns. I know what these grow into.
What are they? Oh, you've got to be careful with those, haven't you? Because they've got
They
thorns
grow
on.
into roses. Tomatoes.
Do they?
Not tomatoes. They're not tomatoes.
No, what are they?
Roses.
Oh, and they're from a garden, those ones are, aren't they? They're not, because we couldn't find them in there. That's right. That's right, we had a look for them.
An apple tree. I've got millions of
Oh,
these
yeah, look at that. Look at that one. It's a small apple, isn't it?
Well, it might got a conker that way.
Sorry?
The others will.
Yeah, should we go and see if we can find something else then? Some other things on the hedge? Yeah, let's go and have a look at the hedge then, see if we can find some more things. Let's go and have a look over here. Let's have a look. This one here? Oh, what are they then?
We had some in our garden.
Do you know what they are though? They're haws, they are. Ah!
I found yours and you found mine.
Where are they on? There aren't many left, are there? Who do you think's eating them?
Birds.
Because they're sort of quite prickly and they're quite thorny. And you've got to be careful with all berries. Why? Why have you got to be careful with all berries that you pick? Why must you?
Because they might. We don't know.
Yes, but none of these are. What are those? What are those that you found?
Elderberry.
Do you know what's inside them? No.
Wine.
Shall we have a look? Shall we have a look and see? Let's have a look. Let's cut one open
Not
then.
wine.
No, you can make them. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. What's that there?
That's the pip. That's a little seed.
That's right.
Well, it's kind of pip seed.
Do you have a look inside this one? Let's have a look.
Big pip.
It's a haw. And how many's in that one?
One big one. What's in that one?
Which one? In this one? Do you want to have a look in this one? Yeah. We'll have a look then. Let's just.
Because they're all different shapes.
Right, this is a rose hip. Let's cut this one up.
Got a sharp knife there.
Oh yeah. Oh, look at that.
Better be careful. Loads of seeds. Tons and tons and tons.
Now this is something that it can be made out of rose hips. Alright, take a couple each and have a look. Alright, let's have a look. This is rose hip syrup, this is. So what do you think it'll taste like?
I don't know.
Take a little bit.
I put it in a cup and drinking it.
Right, you've got to have a bit of water first though, so don't drink it yet. We'll just look at it. What does it? Does it smell funny? Does it smell?
Stinks carrot.
Is it? Right, so we've all got a bit. I'll have a little bit as well.
Nice that. Then we can drink it.
Right, give it a little stir, shall we?
Then it'll taste nice.
Right, do you want to have a little taste? See what you think.
I've had it before.
Does that nice?
Lovely. Different. And it's got apple on it.
Yes, yeah, doesn't it? It's apple and rosehip, that is.
Yum, yum.
Oh, Peggy, you're having a picnic. You know what to do with your litter when you're finished, don't you?
Pick a bit up, put a bit in, put a bit of litter in a litter bin. Stan, the dustbin man, with his mates Stan and Fran, were coming to the end of a morning's work on the housing estate. Big Edna was almost bursting with rubbish. Fran, the driver, was tired and looking forward to going home for dinner. Dan was ready for a game of snooker in the sports hall. Stan was disappointed. It hadn't been a very good day for useful things. People only seemed to be throwing out rubbish today. Dusty, nasty, smelly rubbish. No useful bits were left by the bins at all. Fran was glad, for when Stan found useful things, he put them in Big Edna's cab, leaving her very little room to drive. "Never mind, Stan," she teased. "You're bound to make up for it tomorrow." Sadly, Stan went off to the last bin, and as he bent down to pick it up, his boot caught against something soft. He looked down, and staring up at him from a pile of leaves was a sad-looking teddy bear with a worn body and a chewed ear. "Now, you're not rubbish," said Stan. "You're lost. No one throws away teddy bears. Someone must have dropped you. Now, how do we find your owner?" He picked up the bear, shook off the leaves, and taking a long piece of string from his pocket, tied him to the front of Big Edna. "Let's hope someone recognises you," he said. The teddy bear sat on the front of Big Edna all week. He was blown upon, rained upon, and before long was a sad, soggy, dirty mess. "For goodness sake, throw it in, lorry," said Fran towards the end of the week. "Even if someone recognises it, they won't want it now." "We'll leave it just a bit longer," said Stan. The following Monday, they called to empty the bins at the community centre where the children were arriving for playgroup. As Stan carried the bin full of gluey paper, dried-up paint and broken crayons to Big Edna, he saw Bobby Jenkins arrive with his mother. "Good morning, Bobby," called Stan. Bobby was crying. Mrs. Plum, the leader, came out to meet them. "Come on, Bobby," she said kindly. "Surely you're used to the playground by now." "Oh, it's not the playground that's upsetting him," said Mrs. Jenkins. "It's Fred Ted," sobbed Bobby. "I've lost Fred Ted." "It's his teddy bear," went on his mother. "We lost him last week on the way home. He wasn't much to look at, but Bobby does miss him, especially at bedtime." Stan was listening to all this, and he suggested Bobby had a look on the front of Big Edna. Bobby ran round to the front of the lorry, and when Stan heard his squeals of delight, he knew that Fred Ted had been well and truly found. Bobby didn't seem to mind how wet and soggy and dirty he was. "I've missed you, Fred Ted," he sighed, hugging him close. "I think Big Edna will miss him too," joked Stan. "I reckon they've grown quite fond of each other by now." The following week, when Stan arrived at the playgroup, Bobby handed him a picture. "I've drawn a Fred Ted for Edna," he said. Stan smiled and stuck it on the side of the lorry. "Thank you, Bobby," he said. "That's made her very happy." Pick a bit up, put a bit in, put a bit of litter in a litter bin. Put a bit of litter, put a bit of litter, put a bit of litter in a litter bin. Oh,
Pick a bit up, put a bit in, put a bit of litter in a litter bin. Put a bit of litter, put a bit of litter, put a bit of litter in a litter bin.
Peggy Patch's puzzle. Peggy can see some bridges going over the canal. Who's using them to cross the canal? So what did she spot crossing the bridges? Some children, lorries and cars, and some horses. Oh look, she spotted someone else. Right, where do you think it's muddy then?
Over there.
Down there. Right, should we go down and have a look then?
Yeah.
Come on, you show me where it is. Come on.
Mud hunts. Mud hunts. Mud hunts.
Everyone's off on a mud hunt. What makes mud? Water with earth or sand. Where's it found? Anywhere on the land. Mud hunt.
Mud hunts. Mud hunts.
Everyone's off on a mud hunt. The sun can bake it hard and brown. Soon goes slushy when the rain falls down. Mud hunt.
Mud hunts. Mud hunts.
Everyone's off on a mud hunt.
Pictures of this, pictures of that. I like your pictures, says Peggy Patch. You painted them and coloured them in brown, green and blue. I like your pictures, says Peggy. I hope you like doing them too. Not all rubbish is useless. Take this egg box, for example. I've coloured it in and I've stuck some leaves on the top. I've turned it into an autumn collection box. And I'm going to put inside some of the things we've collected today, like an acorn. What else? Some rose hips. Put them in the middle one there. Oh, I found a sweet chestnut as well. I'll put that in. And I've got 3 more compartments left to fill up. I'll find some more things later. Oh, don't forget the goose. A creature with blue eyes, bright orange legs, who has a bendy neck and downy white feathers. Oh, there's the bus. Come on, Peggy, the bus is here. Peggy will find another patch to stop and play in next week, so we'll see you there.